Now we are going to solve exercise 9.2. It's question number 1. It states that write down the next three terms in each of the following sequences. We are given with this sequence in part A, whose first term is 3, second term is 7, third term is 11, fourth term is 15, fifth term is 19, and so on. And we are required to find out its next three terms. Okay. For that, we need to see what is the pattern going on. 3 plus 4, you get 7. Similarly, 7 plus 4, you get 11. And then 11 plus 4, you get 15. 15 plus 4, you get 19. So the main thing that we need to observe is that a constant number 4 is being added. So these type of sequences are the arithmetic sequences. So we need to find out the next terms. Obviously, the next term is going to be 19 plus 4, which is 23. Then 23 plus 4, that is going to be 27. And then 27 plus 4, it is going to be 31. So the next three terms would be these three: 23, 27, and 31. Okay, that was, I guess, pretty simple. Now, in part B, we need to observe 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 5 is 16. No, it is not 5, rather, it is 7. And then 16 plus 9 is 25. And then 25 plus 11 is 36. So we observe that in each new term, uh, we are going to add two more, starting with 5. So in the next term, after 36, obviously we need to add 11 plus 2. That is 13. So adding 13 to 36, we get 49. Similarly, this is 49 plus, now previously we added 13. Now we would be adding 13 plus 2, even 2 more to 13, which is 15. So 15 plus 49 is 64. And then 64 plus, previously we added 15. Now we would be adding 15 plus 2 even. That means 64 plus 17. So that is going to be 81. So these are the next three terms: 49, 64, and 81. And this 49, 64, and 81. Okay. Now for part C. This is 23 and then 19. Then 19 becomes 13. And then from 13, we get 5. And then -5. So we observe uh, that we need to subtract something, obviously. 13 minus 4 is this 19. And then 19 minus 6 is 13. Then 13 minus 8 is 5. And then 5 minus 10 is -5. So we observe that for the each new term, we need to subtract two more from the previous difference. Whatever we subtracted in the last term, now we need to subtract even two more than that, and so on. So from -5, starting with -5, since we subtracted last time that was -10, so we need to have it -12 now instead of, so this is the pattern that we need to observe: -4, -6, -8, -10. After that, it is going to be -12. So you can understand it in both ways. Like either you can say that you are adding -12, or you can say that you are going to uh, subtract 12. So both are alike. So -5 plus -12 is going to be -17. Then after this -17, you need to have -14. That will give me -31. And then -31 plus -16. So you need to see or observe this pattern: -12, -14, -16. So that will give us -47. So these are the next three terms of the sequence: -17, -31, and -47. So this is how we had to do question number 1. In question number 2 now, we need to give the first three terms and find the 20th term of the number patterns given by the following rules, where t is the term and n, which is there in the subscript, that gives the position of the term. For example, if it is written t3, that would mean third term. Okay. Now, there is a difference in question number 1 and 2. If you just compare these parts with all of these parts in question number 2, the difference is in question number 1, we are given with the terms of the sequence from where we deduced the pattern, what is the pattern going on, and then we continued with that pattern to figure out the next terms. In question number 2, there is nothing something like that. We are not given with the terms, rather we are given with a formula Tn, 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 and so on. This Tn is actually known as the nth term. Nth term. That is also given a name general term. General term is such type of a relation um, like in which you input the values for n, which stands for the number of term, which term are you going to calculate, and you need to calculate the corresponding term. So that will give us the terms accordingly. So let's start with question number 2, part A. Tn is 4 minus 3n. Since we need to find out first three terms, that means you need to find out T1. That can be calculated if you substitute at the place of n 1. Similarly, second term is going to be calculated when we will substitute n equals to 2, and third term can be calculated if we substitute the value of n to be 3. So this will generate the three terms of the sequence. So 4 minus 3, which is 1. This is now 3 2s are 6. So 4 minus 6, that is -2. And then 3 3s are 9. And 4 minus 9, that is -5. Here, you need to be careful to use BODMAS rule so that multiplication is performed prior than performing subtraction. So you need to multiply 3 times 3, then whatever is the answer, which is 9. So you need to subtract 9 from 4. So that will give the answer to be -5. So these are the first terms. The first term is 1, second term is -2, and third term is -5. Okay, then the second part or the second requirement of the question is to find out the 20th term. That means now we need to find out T20. That can be calculated by substituting n equals to 20. So this is how we need to solve it. So 4 minus 320 are 60. So 4 minus 60, that is going to be -54. So the value of T20, that means that is actually the 20th term of the sequence. That is going to be -54. This is an efficient way of generating the required term of the sequence provided with the general term. You just need to input the values of the variable n and you will get the resulting term number. Okay, so that was part A. Now we can start doing part B. Tn is given to be 2 minus n. For first term, obviously we need to replace 1 at the place of n, then T2, 2 minus 2, and then T3, 2 minus 3. So whatever the results are, those will be respectively the answers to term 1, term 2, and term 3. 2 minus 1 is positive 1. Then 2 minus 2 is 0. And 2 minus 3 is -1. So you can observe that the sequence would be actually 1, then 0, then -1, like the terms as we were given in question number 1. So now you can have the first 3 terms of the sequence, and from this you can easily deduce any required term or the next terms. Okay. Then the next requirement of the question, that was to calculate T20, that is the 20th term. So 2 minus at the place of n, now I need to replace 20 because I'm going to calculate 20th term. So 2 minus 20 is -18. So that means this is the first term, this is the second term, this is third term, and so on. The term which would be at the 20th place, that would be -18.